TV shows need to stop this and instead do this. I'm gonna tell you why I think it's better when shows release weekly, like HBO's The Last of Us, rather than dropping all of the episodes at once, like Netflix's Stranger Things. Plus, at the very end, I'm gonna tell you why there might be a third option that's even better than these two that almost no shows are using.
Alright, let's go.
Now personally, I'm not a fan of shows dropping all of the episodes at once. Firstly, when you binge watch, I just don't think it's as good of a viewing experience as watching the episodes one at a time. And that's for a couple of reasons. Watching the episodes one at a time almost feels like the proper way to watch a show, because if you were meant to watch all of the episodes at once, then it wouldn't be a TV show. It would just be one really, really long movie. But it's not. It's specifically released in episodes because I think that's the way you're meant to see it.
Maybe this is exactly how it's supposed to be.
Seeing it this way, you get to appreciate each episode individually, as opposed to when you watch all of the episodes in one go. While it feels good in the moment because you're getting the answers very quickly, I just don't think you get to take in a lot of the individual episodes. And that's a shame, because think back on something like The Last of Us, a show that released weekly. Remember the Bill and Frank episode, or even the Henry and Sam episode, and how amazing those two were? Well, if they dropped the whole season at once, it wouldn't have changed how good the episodes were, but I think the story of Bill and Frank or Henry and Sam would have got a little bit more lost in the conversation, where I think people would have been like, that was a great episode. Anyways,
have you seen what happened to Joel and Ellie in episode 6?
Because they released it week to week, for that 7-day period, it got its moment in the spotlight and was truly appreciated. Now, a lot of you might be saying, well, no one's forcing you to watch all of the episodes at once, you can still watch them one at a time. And while that might be true in theory, in actuality, when you drop all of the episodes at once, you do kind of force people to binge it. Because if you care about spoilers at all, which most people watching a show do, you have to watch the show immediately or in those first couple of days in order to avoid the show being ruined for you. But there's another huge benefit to the weekly release. One of the most fun things about shows that release week to week, like WandaVision for example, is the discussion that takes place around the show, where after watching an episode, people talk about what happened in that episode, and then for the rest of the week, they're speculating and theorizing about what's gonna happen next. And that conversation around the show, for a lot of fans, is just as fun as watching the show itself. And when you binge watch a show, you make that conversation non-existent.
And now it's gone, and I hate everything.
Like, as big as Stranger Things is every single time it drops, I can only imagine what it would be like if they released episodes weekly. The talks the next day after the episodes, followed by the speculating all week about what was going to happen next, would be insane. And this would allow them to dominate the conversation for 8 or 9 weeks every single time they drop. Because it kind of sucks when a show that you've been waiting for literal years comes out and is only in the conversation for a couple of days. It's like going on a roller coaster ride that you waited for 3 hours and it lasts a total of -6 seconds.
Wait, that's it?
It's like, I don't know, man. I kind of wish we got to enjoy the experience of actually going on the ride a little bit longer since we waited so long for it. Now, I'm not going to pretend that the weekly model is perfect. I think sometimes when you're watching a show week to week, it can lose a bit of momentum where there's so much excitement to watch the next episode when you finish the first one, but then 7 days passes and some of that excitement can fade. When it comes down to it, I definitely prefer the weekly model over the binge, but I would actually say there's another option that's even better that I haven't seen many shows do so far, and that's the daily model. Now, hear me out. Imagine Stranger Things released episode 1 on a Friday night. Then Saturday was episode 2, episode 3 was Sunday, Monday was 4, Tuesday was 5. You get the point. And then by the time we get to the next Friday or Saturday night, that would be our season finale. This would be like the best of both worlds to me.
If there was some kind of marijuana that allowed me to like enjoy life but still like remember where I put my keys, I would be that, because that seems like the best of both worlds.
You would be releasing the episodes one at a time so that people would still get to appreciate each episode individually and have those conversations the next day where they talk about the show and discuss what they think is going to happen next. But also, you wouldn't be making people wait a full week in between episodes. But those are just my thoughts on it. You guys let me know yours down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.